It's kicking in a moment. It's just preparing the stream.
Okay.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's really great to be with you this evening as we celebrate Shabbat together, virtually once again from our own homes. It's been quite a week. We had a great celebration for Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, as we celebrated the rebirth of a nation. It was really exciting and really a fantastic opportunity to give thanks for the blessing that is Israel. And we had some difficult news just this week, just yesterday, as we learned that we won't be having any URJ summer camping on site. So Camp Coleman, and along with all the other URJ camps, are not going to be running their programs as usual this summer because of the challenge of COVID. And so we are hopeful that we as a community are going to be able to come together and provide really some wonderful youth programs, some youth alternatives. Now, I know nothing can replace the camping experience. I'm really bummed because it was going to be my first summer at Coleman after spending 5 years at Green Family Camp. To know all the campers and all the faculty, all the staff, all who put so much work into the camp experience, were also disappointed, with the news. But we recognize also that it's the right decision and that we need to, keep each other safe, keep each other healthy. Pikuach nefesh, the value of saving a life, it overrides everything. And so next year, of course, there'll be camp again. But for now, again, we're going to err on the side of caution and the side of safety to make sure that we get through this challenge together. And so, with all that big news this week, I think it's really only fitting we begin our service with a nice deep cleansing breath, neshama amuka, a deep breath just to sort of breathe in and out, breathe out all the stress of the week as we join together for our Shabbat experience, letting Shabbat rest really help us during this time. I'm going to share my screen here in a moment as we get to our Shabbat service. And we will begin there. Hopefully, everyone sees our Shabbat at home liturgy. And we're going to begin with Hine Matov. Let's all join together in song.
And because we celebrated with Israel this week, an Israeli Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Now let's continue together with Lechu Neranana.
Lechu neranena, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Naria, yai lai 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 lai, Mitzur Yishenu. Yai, lai, lai, la, la, lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation, from mountain to sea, hear a song. Lekune ranena, ya lai 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 lai, la Adonai, ya lai 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 lai, Naria, ya lai 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 lai, Litzur Yishenu. Yai, lai, 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 lai. For all of the wonders, for all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechune ranena. Yai, la, lai, lai, lai. La Adonai. Yai, lai, lai, la, la, lai. Naria. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Litzur Yishenu. Yai, lai, lai, ya, la, lai. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai.
We now continue with Shir Chadash, singing a new song to God.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. I think my Zoom is gone bye-bye.
I still see you here.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah, you're here.
Well, that's good because I don't see you. Okay, well, I'm really glad that we're still on.
Yeah, I think we're still. I mean, I see you, and yeah, I think it's okay.
Weird. I don't have anything on my desktop that looks like you or the service.
I think we're okay.
All right, well, let's keep going then, Rabbi. I don't know why I can't see you, but there we go. Okay.
Do you want to? I mean, yeah, it's coming in strong over here. Yeah, I don't know. I can see you. I can even mute you or unmute you. Yeah, it's so
Weird.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. There's a big Zoom. I don't know. Really strange. Should I try and come in again and you can
Yeah, you can try to come in again if you'd like. Yeah.
I think I better do that. I
Yeah.
don't know where that all went, but here we go.
And while that's happening, we'll continue with the service. Another week of work is ended. Again, Shabbat brings welcome peace. We pause from our labors to let Shabbat give another dimension to our lives. These Sabbath candles are symbols of the holiness we seek. Their brightness dispels gloom and lights a path to faith and hope. Their glow reminds us of the sacred bonds that link us to our people over space and time. Their radiance summons us to fulfill our people's
Oh,
mission, to cast the light of freedom, justice, and peace upon all the world. Now I'm going to light the Shabbat candle.
so yeah, I'm back.
Matchbox here.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
The seventh day is consecrated to the eternal our God. With wine, our symbol of joy, we celebrate this day and its holiness. We give thanks for all of our blessings, for life and health, for work and rest, for home and love and friendship. On Shabbat, the eternal sign of creation, remember that we are created in the divine image. We therefore raise the cup in thanksgiving as we say,
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uv'ratzon, הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדיש השבת. אמן.
Chaim.
L'chaim to you too.
You got some Manischewitz there?
Yeah.
There you go. I have a Cabernet Sauvignon from the Galilee.
Better choice.
Very nice. It's a real wine. And forget it, everyone viewing at home, remember, a good way to express one's Zionism, buy Israeli wine. For Yom HaTzmaut and really any week. Buy some good Israeli wine. Okay. But as I'm thinking about wine and Shabbat sweetness, if you're there on the YouTube stream and that little chat box, maybe put something in there that you were thankful for that was really sweet this week, some sort of sweet experience that you had. Let us know what's going on, and maybe we can all share in each other's blessings.
Sounds great.
Let's continue now with Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Shamor v'Zachor v'Dibur Echad, Ishme'anu El Hamiuchad, Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad, L'Shem U'Tiferet V'Litilah, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'Nelcha, Ki Mekor HaBracha, Merosh Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'Machshava Tchila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Torari, Ki Va'orech U'Miori, Uri, Shir Daberi, Kevod Adonai Alayich Nigla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Boi v'Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam B'Simcha U'Tola, Toch Emunei Am Segula, Boi Chala, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla.
Now we're going to continue with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. There we go. Now we continue with our Ma'ariv Aravim prayer, Roll into Dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Oh, Boreyong, Balayla, Golel, Mipnei Choshech, Golel, Mipnei Choshech, Choshech, Mipnei Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevon, Shem Kevon, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Now let's continue together with the Via Hafta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Released from the darkness, our people found their freedom at the sea. You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross this sea and survive. Inside you is a Moses, within you Miriam dances, unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song. Can you hear my kid wailing from there?
I can hear him.
He is not a
He's
happy
wishing
camper.
us all a Shabbat Shalom.
He wants redemption from bedtime.
Aww.
Yes, it's rough. Let's do it together in Mi Chamocha.
Mi Chamocha Bailim Adonai. Mi Chamocha Nedar Bakodesh. Nora Tehilot O Sefele. Nora Tehilot O Sefele. Malechutecha Ra'u Vanecha Vokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam Ze'eli Anu ve'amru Adonai Yimlo Le'olam va'en Yalai bai bim bim bam Yabai bai bim bam Yabai bai bim bidi bam Yabai bai bim bam Yai lai la lai 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 Yabai bai bim bam Yai lai la lai 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 Yabai bai bim bam.
Cause us, Adonai, our God, to lie down in peace, and to awaken each morning to renewed life and strength. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Yeah, Benji needs that lying down in peace. That would be nice. Help us to order our lives by your counsel and lead us by the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow. Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming in unto life and peace, from this time forth and forever. Let's continue as we say, Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Join together with Hashkiveinu.
Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'amiteinu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'amiteinu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'amiteinu shomreinu
love that prayer and love Hashkivenu, and just thinking about the idea of God's shelter of peace, that's Sukkot Shalom. We can all use a little more shalom in our lives right now, I'm sure. A little more peace, a little more relaxation. Again, that YouTube chat box, let me know what's one thing you like to do to rest. How do you feel in your life right now, God's shelter of peace? Let us know how you can bring a little peace into your life during this time. Let's continue now with the Vishamru, actually on page 9, I believe. Yes. Let's join together as we celebrate Shabbat. Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Now we continue with the Tefillah, the Amidah, and we all join together in song.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot v'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ולאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
The holiness of Shabbat is not for this day alone. We must make it overflow into all our minutes, to hallow our weekdays from these sacred moments, hour by hour, to make the world a sanctuary where every human soul may be at home. May all we feel at times like this, at the miracle of one another united in prayer, be with us tomorrow. May it help us keep tenderness in our words, in our touch, and in the way we view one another. Eternal source of good, we thank you for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Help us, O God, to work for a just and compassionate society where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose name is goodness and who is worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lecha na'eh lehodot. Peace, happiness, and blessing, grace and love and mercy, may these descend upon us, upon all Israel, and on all the world. Bless us, our Creator, one and all, with the light of your presence. For by that light, O God, you have revealed to us the law of life, to love kindness and justice and mercy, to seek blessing, life, and peace. O bless your people Israel and all peoples with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Let's now continue with our prayer for healing, our Misha Berach prayer.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We are thinking of and wishing a refuah shlema to Janice Berman, Evan Bin, Fran Brickman, Mark Edelstein, Brian Edelstein, Mark Enfinger, Danielle Heyman Feist, Linda Fine, Eric Fisk, Buddy Green, Vicky Hano, Marvin Hollander, Fran Kipling, Laurie Cattleman, Hank Corin, Wendy Sugarman Krasnoff, Wendy LaPrade, Elsa Mikosh, Miriam Merens, Carolee Pizzuti, Janet Polfrey, Jane Rifkin, Jess Rifkin, Ted Ross, Kevin Shower, Cal Simon, Dr. Cindy Steinman, Pete Tanner, Jean Weissman, and Janet White. We wish them all good health and healing, along with all the other people who are sick and in need of healing, as we say Amen.
And let us say, Amen.
We continue with a moment of silent prayer and reflection.
Oh, say shalom bimromav. Uya say shalom aleinu. Be'al kol Yisrael. Be'al kol yoshvei tevel. Meimru. Oh, say shalom b'romah. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
I'm not actually in the sanctuary. This is my virtual background for the evening. I actually went to the synagogue this week to run a couple errands, pick up some books, and I went to visit some old friends. The friends being the ones in the ark.
Oh,
Yeah, I wanted to check on the Torah scrolls and see how they were doing. It's always good to check in with our Torahs. And thankfully, everything is good with our scrolls. Not that I thought there'd be a problem, but it's nice to sort of see the Torah scrolls. That's one of the things that I think I miss. In addition to missing all of your smiling faces, I sort of miss the ark. I miss opening up the ark and seeing the Torahs, taking them out, and actually reading a bit from the scroll. Especially since our B'nai Mitzvah have all been postponed until the fall, to the winter. Who knows? When. We're going to be back for live services, hopefully sooner than later, but, it might be a little while till we hear Torah chanted in the sanctuary again. So with that thought in my mind, though I could not, in any good conscience, bring a Torah home with me, I thought it would be a nice idea to actually hear a little bit of the Torah today, some words of Torah. Our Torah portion this week is Kiddushim. It's actually a dual portion, Achrei Mot Kiddushim. But when you have a choice of, Achrei Mot or Kiddushim, everyone always reads Kiddushim. It's a much more popular, much more famous text because it has in it one of the most famous parts in the entire Torah, the Holiness Code. It's a group of ethical, mostly ethical, but some ritual teachings, mitzvot, that tell us about how we should treat each other, how we treat our neighbor. And it's really important. It begins with a really famous verse, Kiddushim tihiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall be holy, for I, your God, am holy. if I had to pick my favorite verse in the Torah, that's probably it. It's if it's not number one, it's really close to it, because I feel like that verse encapsulates for me so much of what it means to live a Jewish life, to live a holy life, is that it is our obligation to strive to try our best to be godlike, to possess the qualities of goodness, of justice, of mercy, of compassion that we believe that God has, in the traditional sense, to think about how we relate to each other. Do we relate to each other in a positive way or in a negative way? And what are the rules governing how we treat each other? And it's fascinating to me is that to be like God, it's such a tricky phrase because, again, there's some ways that are impossible, right? We can't be, we're not eternal, we're not immortal, we're not in traditional theology omnipotent or omniscient. But again, it's those ideas, those values of goodness, of justice, of righteousness, of compassion, of mercy, of forgiveness that we are supposed to encapsulate in our strive to be more godlike. It's such, again, a tremendous task, a challenge. And I believe that God knows that we can't make it, obviously. There's no way we can be like God. As in the actual, getting there to be the same. That's not going to work. But God appreciates the effort. God appreciates our trying, our striving, our struggling, our reaching for something better. And I believe that it's upon all of us to continue to reach for the good, to reach for the best within us, because that's, I believe, where God dwells, is the best within us, the best around us, and striving ever so slowly, ever so cautiously, but ever, so thoughtfully towards the holy in our lives. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen again with you so we can all look at the Torah portion itself. It's Parshat Kedoshim. It's going to be a first for me to sort of read, chant and scroll at the same time. A different kind of scrolling, so to speak, a different kind of turning the pages of the Torah scroll. There's a matter of some halachic debate on whether or not you can actually have an aliyah in this setting, because we have a virtual minyan, so to speak, but we are not actually using the Torah scroll. And so I'm going to say the blessing for Torah study, which ends in La'asok b'divrei Torah. It's the commandment for the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. So we thank God, the ruler of the universe, who has made us holy, sanctified us through mitzvot, and commands us when it comes to the study of being engaged with the study of Torah. And so I'm going to begin here on Leviticus 19, verse 9, and I'll begin chanting a little Torah. ובקוצרכם את קציר ארצכם לא תכלה, פי צדך לקצור, ולקט קצירך לא תלקט, וכרמך לא תעולל, ופרת כרמך לא תלקט, לעוני ולגר תעזוב אותם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. לא תגנובו, ולא תכחשו, ולא תשקרו, איש בעמיתו. לא תשבו בשמי לשקר, וחיללת את שם אלוהיך, אני אדוני. לא תעשוק את רעך ולא תגזול, לא תלין פעולת שכיר איתך עד בוקר. לא תקלל חירש, ולפני עיוור לא תיתן מכשול, ויראת מאלוהיך, אני אדוני. לא תעשו עוול במשפט, לא תישא פני דל, לא תדר פני גדול, בצדק תשפוט עמיתך. לא תלך רכיל בעמך, לא תעמוד על דם רעך, אני אדוני. לא תשנא את אחיך בלבבך, הוכח תוכיח את עמיתך, ולא תישא עליו חטא. לא תיקום ולא תיטור את בני עמך, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, אני Adonai.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. That was definitely interesting.
That was
A
cool.
different experience. Once I was using the mouse as my yod,
I
it was
love it. It
easier,
just seemed
to
like
figure
it
that
worked
out.
really well.
It worked well. So obviously you see here a lot of ethical teachings about taking care of the poor, right? So you shall not pick your vineyard bare or gather the fallen fruit of your vineyard. You leave them for the poor and for the stranger. Am the eternal, I am your God. This idea that it's incumbent upon all of us. And I think about this actually very much right now about how it is incumbent upon us to take care of the poor, take care of the sick, take care of those who have difficulty providing for themselves, and we must really be mindful not to expose those people many who are still working, some in not the best of conditions. Make sure to protect them, make sure their livelihood is intact. We have a societal obligation according to Judaism to make sure that nobody falls into poverty if we have anything to say about it, and the Torah teaches us we do have something to say about it. We have, again, that obligation to give tzedakah, and to make sure that people are taken care of. We shall not steal, shall not deal deceitfully or falsely with one another. Business ethics, how we engage when it comes to sales, when it comes to our different ways of making a living, that we need to be honest when it comes to all of our dealings. You shall not swear falsely by God's name, profaning the name of your God. You shall not defraud your fellow, not commit robbery. Again, economic justice, very important to the Torah. This is for its time, as I have said before, and I'll say again, the Torah is astoundingly progressive for its time. Is it perfect? No. Is it progressive by our standards all the time? Not so much, not always. Sometimes, but not always. But there are just these moments in here where you think, wow, maybe our world would be a lot better if we paid more attention to certain parts of the Torah. The wages of a laborer shall not remain with you until morning. Again, treat your workers fairly, treat them justly. Do not let people, go hungry or starve, especially as they put in an honest day's work. You shall not insult the deaf, nor place a stumbling block before the blind. We have to protect those, right, who are in a position to be hurt, whether it's physically hurt, emotionally hurt, or from, again, an economic situation. We have to make sure that we're protective of others. You shall revere your God. I am the eternal. You shall not render an unfair decision. Do not favor the poor or show deference to the rich. Judge your kinsmen fairly. Justice, very key, for Leviticus, for this holiness code. Again, how we treat each other. Do not deal falsely with your countrymen. Do not stand by the blood of your neighbor. I am the eternal. There are people who are suffering, and people who, depending on the decisions we make as cities, as states, as a country, will suffer more. And so we have to really be thoughtful, I think, and very judicious when it comes how we confront this COVID challenge, to make sure that, again, that some of us, it's been said more than once that while we're all experiencing, this situation, we are all not experiencing it the same way. We are all not in the same boat, so to speak. There's some of us who have more susceptibility, to this virus. There's some of us who, have different abilities to confront this challenge than others. And so we just need to be mindful of that, and again, make sure that those who are more susceptible, in more risk factor groups, who are either getting the virus or suffering because of decisions relating to the virus, we have to make sure, again, that we are treating people justly and fairly, and again, in a safe way. You shall not hate your kinsfolk in your heart. Which is, again, very important, I think, for all of us to remember, is that hatred is not a Jewish value. We cannot hate each other. We cannot hold that anger in our hearts towards another person. You shall rebuke your kinsmen, but incur no guilt because of them. We can't hate them, but we can correct them once in a while, right? If they're going astray, if there's something wrong, we do have an obligation to say something to get our friends back on the right path. But we cannot do it in such a way that it brings them shame, it hurts them, it causes more harm than good. Sometimes we might have the best of intentions, that we want to be constructive in our criticism. It doesn't always come out right. I would say that in my experience, that constructive criticism is not the easiest thing to give. People often like the criticism part, but they forget the constructive part of it. And there are ways of reaching people, and there are ways of talking to them in such a way that lift them up, and there are ways of putting people down. And I think this Torah portion reminds us of our obligation to try to lift people up. That we can disagree, we can again find. We have to find the right words to help somebody maybe see a better way or a better path. And then we close out with not taking vengeance or bearing a grudge against one's kinsman or against one's countrymen. And then, of course, I think, again, on one of those really important lines, the essence, the foundational piece of Judaism: love your neighbor, love your fellow as yourself. I am the eternal. And one of the famous midrashim speaks about this quote and the idea that it's not just about our neighbor, the person next door, or even our neighbor, the person who we consider to be our friend, our family. It's not even about loving people who are Jewish, part of our tribe. It says, no, your fellow is everybody, because we all come from Adam, according to tradition, right? We're all part of one human family that we are commanded to love. What a wonderful idea. We are commanded to love. In a way, I'd like to think it's one of the easiest commandments. Doesn't feel like that all the time, but something to strive for, right? As God loves us, we love people. And there was, I'm forgetting the attribution, but there was a rabbi who said that you can't love God unless you love God's creations, unless you love humanity. And so I'm going to leave us with that Shabbat thought, that it is up to us, if we really want to fulfill that mitzvah, that sacred ideal of being like God, Kiddushim Tihiyu, Ki Kadosh Ani Adonai Elohechem. How are we going to be like God? Let's put more love into the world, now and always. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Amen ve'amen, Rabbi. Beautiful.
Thank you. And now we're going to continue with Sefirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. So I'm going to give that a little read, a little blessing for us. We are counting the days between Passover and Shavuot, each day bringing us a little bit closer to the reception of the Torah at Mount Sinai to Revelation. And so each day we anticipate this great gift of God giving us the Torah. And so we count. And the Omer, as we say, it's actually from the barley harvest. So we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all worlds, who has made us holy with your mitzvot and commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. And so today, Hayom Shlosha v'esrim Yom Shehem Shlosha Shavuot U'Shnei Yamim LaOmer. Today is the 23rd day of the Omer, making 3 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Almost halfway there. Okay, so now we've counted the Omer, we can go back to our service as we continue with Aleinu. Scroll down here. There we go.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liyotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We recall loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. We are observing the Shiva period for the death of our member, Dr. Howard Rubin, husband of Natalie, father of Jonathan. We're also thinking of the Klein family as Judy mourns her sister, Maxine Roth, who is also the aunt of Stephen Klein. We're observing the Yurtzeit this week for Celia Applebaum, Norman Bachman, Ben Barron, Sheila Toby Basil, William Bass, Jean Becker, Stanley Richard Benjamin, Louis Bernstein, Nettie Edgar, Jerry Farstein, Flora Finkelstone, Michael Foreman, Beatrice Garfs, Riva Gelb, Sidney Daniel Gorman, Miriam Graber, Nathaniel T. Harris, Ida Haim, Marjorie Peskin Hirsch, David Hershoren, Louisa Eagle, Louis Casper, Fanny Hymanson Kempner, Hyman Crystal, Lucille Lichter, Selma Levitt, Daniel Morris, Abraham Novick, Charlotte Porges, Harriet Robbins, Adele Rocker, Max Cozy Rothfield, Ida Ruttenberg, Sidney Schlossman, Decora Silverman, Jeanette Spray-Regan, William Stewart, Boris Tenenbaum, Alfred M. Ullman, Martin Verbin, Jerome A. Waterman, Beverly Wertheimer, Solomon Human. May the names of all of our departed be for a blessing. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise God and pray for the coming of God's kingdom. And before we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, I did want to mention the names of those who died in the past year. Hilda Sachs, Edwin Schumann, Roland Fox, Robert Sand, Lee Benjamin, Jim Shapiro, Mildred Kahn, Vita Felmis, Jay North, and Gwen Hirschfield. And so now, with all of those names that we've recited, all of their memories are with us as we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divra cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shmei d'Kudisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Announcements. Hoda'ot.
I have an announcement.
Please.
Is there someone who's going to actually make announcements?
No, just us.
Oh, okay. So last night we had our first, we've been doing our sing-along in place of choir. And I took a little figurative page out of your book, Rabbi, and I scanned a bunch of the Shirenu Chordster so that people could follow along with the words, and they really liked it. And so Thursdays I'll be doing that so we can sing along, songs in Hebrew, songs in English, and put it up on the screen and share the screen. And people really had fun being able to sing along and picking songs as I was scrolling through. So I'm really happy about that, and I hope that if you are out there watching and you have not joined us before, come and join us on a Thursday at 7:45 until 9 o'clock, because we're singing together to lift our spirits.
I love it. That's wonderful. It's a really great thing to be able to do for the community. I want everyone to pay attention to their emails, probably Sunday night or Monday morning. There'll be an email with basically the list of the different opportunities to engage with the TBI community virtually on Facebook in particular. So there's going to be videos that we're going to be putting out with teachings. As Laura mentioned, she's got her singing, going on, which is really, again, wonderful. And she's also teaching, obviously, her classes. I'm teaching math classes.
Yeah, they're going very well. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the Hebrew class is doing great.
It's a wonderful thing. So we have our Bible study, we have our Derech Torah class, we have Hebrew classes going on, and in addition, we'll be putting out some more content as well. Monday, while not a Jewish holiday, or really any kind of holiday per se, is May the 4th. And so it is our Star Wars holiday. May the 4th be with you. And so the plan is that evening to do a little bit of Star Wars and Judaism, rabbinic wisdom from Yoda kind of stuff. So if you are interested in that, I would love to have you check it out. Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we're going to be doing a little coffee talk with the rabbi. We're going to be doing some kind of Ask the Rabbi session. So it's a good time to start brainstorming some ideas of questions you want to ask the rabbi. And we'll see what we do. We'll try to make that a weekly tradition at Wednesday at 1 o'clock while we're going through this situation, to do a little time to just get a chance to hang out and chat more. I think that would really be wonderful. And again, just stay tuned. There's a lot of good stuff going on. End of May, we have Shavuot. We'll be doing a teaching session on the 28th of May, and then Yisker on the Friday morning. So again, pay attention to those emails. I know they're coming sometimes fast and furious, but they have a lot of good information on how to connect with us, with the synagogue virtually. So please take advantage of those opportunities. With all of that said, let's join together in Motzi. We got a little bread here.
And don't forget, there's a online class for making challah, which I didn't get a chance to do this year, but that's another thing that we have a link to, don't we?
Yes, we do. Thank you. We have Margaret Morgan and Sarah Ellis doing the challah baking, and actually, I think we have one coming up with Brian Wackler. He's going to come up and he's going to do some cooking, and he had such a good time doing it. I think he's going to actually do it a few times. So he's a really great cook, obviously.
We've been enjoying some of his home-delivered knishes.
I might have to place an order for those knishes. I haven't had them in a while. I think
worth it.
About that time to get a knish order from Brian. That's certainly great. Okay, let's join together. With my disappearing bread.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Everyone stay safe. Wash up. Do right.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, everybody.
Okay.
Stay safe. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.